Hello and welcome to today's Just Chopsing Podcast. And with David and myself today, we have a couple of guys from Black Lakes. Black Lakes are a rock metal screamo band. How would you describe yourselves, guys?
Oh, Peruvian nose flute jazz.
What was that recent one? What was that recent label we were given in a which?
It was emo post hardcore.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I can't be dealing with subgenres, man.
We play rock and roll.
Yeah, it's music with fuzzy guitars, isn't it? It's
Yeah, because you've got some tracks with a bit of screamo in it, and some tracks without screaming in it.
Yeah. It's fair. We try and mix all kinds of genres, I suppose. So yeah, we got some melodic stuff, but we got some heavy stuff, and we even let Dav sing on a few, and he has a really angelic screaming voice, so that goes down. It's quite funny actually. In some of the reviews, they've criticised us for that. That they've tried to be modern with the screaming, but we'll look past that and move on to the next track with no screaming in it. So yeah, we were actually taking some shit for the screaming, but there we are.
All right, okay. That's a bit unusual, isn't it?
Yeah. But we like it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are from South Wales then, I take it?
Yeah.
Where are you all from? Are you all from the same sort of area, or?
Kind of.
I'm Blackwood.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Caerphilly way.
Okay.
And I'm originally from Newport, but don't tell anyone.
Okay. Yeah, well, South Wales bands, there's been a few screaming bands come out of South Wales in the last 20 years, haven't there?
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't see why you're getting criticised for that, to be honest.
Oh, not massively. It's just in the main press where I think they just want you to be like straight rock or straight. I think we upset them because we don't really nicely fit into any particular one genre.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the thing. But yeah, we just
pigeonhole you.
No, exactly. We put it all in the melting pot. But yeah, no way. But then it's the same kind of people that are like, I don't know, bands like maybe Foo Fighters or 30 Seconds to Mars. And if you pay attention, there's plenty of screaming in there too.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem that way because it's not done in such an aggressive fashion. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Loads of good bands with screaming vocals.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So when did you form then? Was it before lockdown?
Yes. About probably, I think we dropped our first song, just a demo of a song in 2018.
Okay.
But Dylan's probably been in the band, 2 years now, Dylan? A little bit longer, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's around 2 years.
So we kind of snowballed, I suppose, as in it wasn't all just the six of us straight away. Myself and the other guitar player and the bass player have been in the band before. And then myself and James, the other guitar player, have both sang and fronted bands before.
Okay.
And then decided we probably should get someone who can actually sing.
Okay.
So we were on the scout for like a proper rock vocalist. And then when we got Will, then it just snowballed. And then Dav was pretty early on. We trialed a drummer briefly, and he couldn't handle the time signatures. So he literally couldn't play the song. It's like, all right, we better find a drummer that can play that weird time signature to do it. And then I don't want to make it sound too bad, but actually Dav got introduced to us by his mum.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Weird.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, his mum messaged the band and said, "Oh, my son drums. I think he'd fit really well. Check him out." And we were like, "This is a bit weird, like getting a message from someone's mum, like, all right, well, she's spent the effort. Maybe we should check him out."
Yeah, I think she just felt bad because of me being in a band before, young band as well. Should have gone places type of band. Really looking good sort of band, and then get kicked out of that band or whatever.
Okay.
I ended up playing in that band after Dav.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, not on drums, obviously, but yeah.
But why have you got 3 guitar players?
Why not?
Because none of us have no talent.
It's like, put another one in there. Cover the holes up. Put another one in there.
But the actual, yeah, absolutely. But the actual sensible answer is, I'd written a load of songs. I was just writing songs, and then, do you want to play a bit? All right. And then before I'm like, oh shit, we're in a band now, and now I've written like 3 guitar parts for this song, and 3 guitar parts for this song, and 3 guitar parts for this song.
Right.
So really, we ought to get someone to play these live, and then we kind of. It was never an intention to sit down and go, we must be a 3 guitar player band, but all of the songs normally have, and even recorded songs have 2 or 3 layers. I mean,
all fucking recorded songs.
Yeah, exactly. Like Green Day, I'm like, well, there's only 3 of you, so somebody's playing that other guitar in the solo lane, etc. Or Nirvana, or take your pick of any 3-person band. I mean, look at Muse. It's like, oh, that's all 3 of them making that noise. I'm like, no, it ain't.
No.
Yeah.
Well, even
like a bit. Yeah, exactly.
Well, even U2, if you go back and you watch U2, man, they've been playing with a backing track for years, and they still fucking deny it.
Which is just stupid.
It's just bonkers.
And then, Maiden have got 3 guitar players. It's got to be good, right? It's got to be good.
Well, so they have, I don't know if it's good, but...
oh, shit. Dave, you can tell me you wasn't a Maiden fan? Oh, no.
No, I am an Iron Maiden fan, but I'm an old Iron Maiden fan.
Oh, well, I mean, I think the early stuff is definitely the best, personally speaking. And are we really sure that Yannick's actually playing anything on stage there?
He's a good guitarist.
Oh, he's a brilliant guitar player. Yeah. When you watch him, I'm like, I'm not sure you're actually playing that there, Yannick.
Yeah, he's just flick his hair about, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure he's
that's what I do live.
Yeah. So basically, Dylan's Richie Manic, and we pretend he's in the band, but he's not actually plugged in. So, but no, it works quite well. So we try and have a bit of a layered sound and some clean parts and some lead parts and some rhythm parts. So now I don't think we'll ever change now. I don't think we could ever have, without sounding too pretentious, I don't think the Black Lake sound could really exist now without 3 guitar players on there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, cool. If you're happy with 3 guitar players and you don't need a backing track because you're filling that void, if you like.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't tell me you're playing with a backing track and 3 guitar players.
No. To be fair, though, there are not really any guitars on the BT. It's all electronics and other stuff. So we don't. There are some. Yeah, there are some. But yeah, it's only because we haven't convinced Dad to take them off yet. And that's pretty much true. But no, I think a lot of good bands have 3 guitar players. There's a band from Australia way that I really like. They're called City of Souls. So and again, they're not particularly huge or anything, but they put some cracking stuff. And again, they basically try and do a mix live. So they put 1 guitar left, 1 guitar right, and then 1 through the middle. Yeah. So effectively emulating more of a recording kind of thing. So we're similarly trying to do that a bit. Rhythm over one side, rhythm on the other side, clean part, and then lead coming through the middle as well. So in fact, every band should have 3 guitar players. Just the fact that there's 1 or 2 is ridiculous.
What guitars do you play then to try and get the different sound out of them?
Dylan should start answering that one. He is the most guitar enthusiastic amongst the guitar players.
Anything. No, I mean, Scott and James use some EMG banger things that are really crap, but let's not talk about that. And then I just use the good guitars that just get through the middle. No, I'm kidding, obviously, but I do hate the EMGs. It's usually that I've got quite a few guitars, and when I say quite a few, probably any sane person would say too many. Okay. But
no, you can't have too many guitars. You can't.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
It's not possible. It's not possible.
But I never said I was sane.
No, that's true.
Dave, hang on a minute. Right, David's got 3 guitars, right?
Okay. Yeah. I can't play any of them.
And I got 4 guitars, and I can't play mine either. So we've obviously got too many guitars.
Well, you could say that, but then I don't know how many Dylan's got. I've probably got, hang on, 1, I can just count that for me now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can see 10 from where I'm sat. And I can't play any of them either. So
and I've got 14 and I can't play any of them. So,
but no, I play a Jackson.
Okay.
Just a shredding Jackson machine. Yes, it has EMGs in it. I know, but I'm a bit like you guys. I think a bit from the old school. So once I saw Metallica and Megadeth and Dave Mustaine had the Jackson there. I'm like, I got to have one of those. So that's why I'm playing at the moment.
Do
But
we have to bring Megadeth there?
I know.
I was enjoying myself.
I know. I quite like Megadeth. I'm sure other people on the planet also like Megadeth. Dylan's not a Megadeth fan.
No, so, I can't say I'm too hot on him, to be honest.
There you go. And I can understand why. He does sound like he's taking a shit through most of his vocal takes. I get that. You know, I understand the criticism, but I actually quite like him. So
it's I don't think it's that. For me, it's the time signatures. They just seem to go off in tangents, and it's like, what the fuck are they doing now? Like,
normally writing Metallica's best albums in the main, but you know, certainly the early ones. Anyway, no, I'm kidding, but you know, so yeah. But I do play other guitars as well. I've got some Epiphones and a Fender. You've got to have a Fender. I mean, you've got to have a Telecaster there for the clean stuff around the place. But then Dav, even though he plays drums, Dav's got some colour guitars. You got your Fender Telly, haven't you? And your
it's all for show.
Isn't it?
Yeah, your PRS as well is a nice guitar.
Yeah.
So it's all for show. I just like hitting shit.
Dan's one of those really annoying people that's incredibly talented at all of it, but doesn't really let it come out. So you know, he plays drums, writes songs, plays guitars, plays bass, produces, can do it all, clean vocal, scream vocal, but then hides it all between under a, you know.
And that's probably why they kicked him out of his old band.
Yeah.
Too much talent.
Showing them all up.
He's basically a bastard then.
Yeah,
frustrates the shit out of everybody else.
Yeah. Well, we have a bit of a joke now that basically it's soon going to become, you know, Fuller Sounds presents David Fuller and there's a tiny little footnote on the poster.
Yeah, and the Black Lakes.
He's a talented boy, but yeah, no, and James, our other guitar player, he plays or would like to play Gibson Flying V, plays an LTD Les Paul copy. So you know
he's getting he's getting that Flying V back out, right?
That's what he thinks he's doing. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he is, because I'm fully behind him.
What do you guys think about Flying Vs? When I see a Flying V, I just think of Ash. If you know,
okay.
A girl from Mars.
Yeah.
I don't mind them. I think they're pretty cool, actually. They're all right.
Yeah, thank you.
Is he going to wear spandex? That's what I want to know.
Let me ask another question.
No, he's wearing a kilt.
No.
There we go. See, there we go.
Cool.
So the guitar that Ash plays is cool, but Ash are not cool. Okay, right.
Yeah, because Mars is a good song, though.
It is a good tune. Yeah, absolutely good tune. Great video too. Quality video. If you've not seen that video, good video. Yeah. But yeah, Flying V's. I don't know. I've just got Ash in my head all the time. It doesn't feel very metal to me.
I don't know. To me, it's the epitome of spandex hair rock.
Sure.
You know.
Maybe.
Yeah, no. It makes. I mean, Kerry King as well. Obviously, he made a great career out of his V. And you know, and on Slayer, it looks cool.
Yeah.
You know, and but like you say, it's a lot of spandex bands playing the old V.
Yeah.
So, but James's is black though, so that's okay. That's allowed.
Yeah.
We have lots of talks with Dylan about having coloured straps that he's not allowed to have. There's like leopard skin, purple ones, orange ones. I mean, the clue's in the title, right, chaps? The band's called Black Lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not called, you know, Tarquin Pink Lakes and or leopard skin lakes. We're called Black Lakes.
Yeah.
Well, I told my girlfriend you were coming on, and I told him you were a Welsh band, and she thought you were called Black Leaks.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have to be honest though, if you do go up to your speaker or whatever and you're not particularly well pronounced, you can quickly, unfortunately, descend into Agadoo if you're careful. Hey Google, play some Black Lakes. No. But you've got to really pronounce that K. Lakes, not the other alternative.
Black Lake. Oh, Black Lace. Yeah, that was one.
I didn't want to say it out loud. It's too upsetting. But yeah, not Black Lake.
It's Terry's favourite band. That is mine.
Oh no, I don't know about that. What about those other ones? Was it the Cheeky Girls? No, the Cheeky Girls.
Yeah, Cheeky Girls. Okay.
Cheeky Girls. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them. The one that they married one of the Liberal Democrat MPs.
Yeah, she did actually. Yeah.
Lembic Opith, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Politician.
Right, yeah.
I'm handy in a pub quiz. I know loads of irrelevant bollocks. But
get it back to your music then. So your debut album came out this year in February, and what I've seen of it is it's very, very well received. Very well received.
Yes, it's been mind blowing. just unbelievable. Some of the reviews, literally unbelievable. You can't take it in. I mean, one of the reviews that had our singer on the floor, it said, Black Lakes, are they the future of metal? It's like, Jesus, that's a statement. Fuck.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. This is all getting a bit out of hand. Hang on, I can't take the entire of metal on our shoulders. Jesus. Wait, really? But it's a great label to have. Yeah, so everyone's been, unbelievably kind about the record. And kind of, I think, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty anal. I think the guys will back up. I'm pretty anal. So,
Pretty?
I'm pretty anal. Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, we can't have just any old track on it. It's got to be good, right? And we've got to spend hours on that track and hours on every part and making sure it's awesome. And I don't know if everyone does that anymore, it seems. Yeah. So we spent literally months and months and months on this going, right, no, that's got to be different. That's got to be different, and evolving it and moving it. And yeah, thankfully, that seems to have been received in that way, where people are appreciating the time and effort that's gone into making sure that every single thing is deliberate. Every single thing is thought about right from the intro track right to the end, noises and sections, But yeah, it's been absolutely mad. I don't know what, Davy, obviously, and Dylan, please chip in, but those are my experience on it. Yeah, the reviews have been crazy.
Yeah, it's been all right.
I was totally lost then. Yeah, sorry.
It's great.
All good.
To be honest, Dav doesn't think it's that good, I reckon. He's probably like,
No.
For now.
no. I think we were talking about this at one point, Scott, when when you see band interviews where they brought out an album and then they get interviewed about the album, and then it's like, oh, what do you think about your new album? And then they're just like, I'm over it. It's like, it's just like, I'm thinking about what's next. It's always what's next. And like, what we know as a band of what is coming next after this is pretty mental so far. Like, so far what we've got lined up to follow up from the album, and gigs we got lined up, releases we got planned, videos, singles potentially, all the way up to album 2, everything from now until then. There's a lot of good stuff. It's crazy how much stuff we've got.
Okay, cool.
Oh, well, that's good.
But yeah, you need to get out and tour this album first, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like Dan says, it's the hard thing, because obviously some of these songs were written, a good couple of years ago, and it's only when you start to get that kind of impact, which is amazing, that you start to realize where everyone goes, oh yeah, we don't want to play that anymore. We want to play the new one and stuff. But everyone's obviously hearing stuff for the first time, so you've got to respect and appreciate. They're like, oh my god, I love that song. I'm like, Jesus, I wrote that 4 years ago, but okay, cool. But you've got to respect that people still want to hear what they think is brand new, because obviously the albums come out this year. Absolutely.
Well, that's the problem with a fucking pandemic. Everybody's been stuck in a time warp for 2 years.
Yeah,
really. And then like you guys have been writing and producing music for 3 years. 2 years of it's been put on hold, if you like. So everything you've written like 3 years ago is old news to you guys,
Yeah.
But to the rest of the listening community, it's brand new stuff. So
sure,
give your fans a little bit of room to suck it up, I guess.
Absolutely, and that's the good thing, because what's going to be weird about it, and I mean, I know, and you probably had it yourself, I've discovered bands after they've disbanded. Like, fucking hell, I've just found you now and you've already quit 2 years ago. This is a nightmare. And I'll be very privileged and honoured if that ever happened to Black Lakes. But, like you say, there might be people going, oh my God, I just heard your first album. I'm like, Jesus, that was 2022. That was miles away. But, they're loving it. But yeah, like Dav said, I know Dav's got masses of tunes, and I think, I don't know, I kind of stopped counting. I stopped counting at about 250. So it's like, right, there's too many now. It's just like, right, which one are we going to do next? I don't know. Let's do this one. This one is what I reckon is pretty good. So, yeah, there hopefully is plenty of material to annoy people with over the next few days. Maybe we can go in a more Megadeth direction just for you and make it go off on me and time signatures. Look at Dylan's face there. Sorry, we're on the podcast, aren't we? Dylan is looking at me as if I have 6 heads.
At the moment, you do.
Yeah.
David's mum will be phoning up, mind. Get him out of that band. Made a wrong move.
Yes, you've got a couple of good gigs coming up as well then. So you're going up to, going to Wildfire the bit later on in the year, and then you're playing at Bannerman's, which is, you know, a lot of bands really want to play in Bannerman's up in Scotland. I know that's a really, really nice venue.
Yeah.
And then which are the other ones I was reading? Oh, Red House in Merthyr, and you're Station 18 as well in Hangar 18. Very well, the end of this month, isn't it? 1st of May.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, gig-wise, it's mad at the minute. We're playing Saturday night. We're supporting Gun. I'm sure you guys remember them. They obviously had a massive hit in the 90s with Word Up, which I don't think is the original, but that was the version I remember. Looking forward to meeting those guys and hanging out with those guys Saturday and playing that. And then Sunday, we're in Swansea at the Hangar 18, Station 18 Festival on the Sunday with a load of great bands there. I think South of Salem and Pretty Reckless. I think we're playing that one as well. And
are you playing on Sunday, you?
Yeah, we're on the Sunday,
That's Piston and Treatment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's this Sunday.
I think South of Salem Saturday or the Sunday. No, they are the Sunday, aren't they? They're the same.
Yeah.
So we're playing that day. I've got to be careful now. It's really weird because like when this game starts getting a bit serious, you're like, oh yeah, shit, I'm not allowed to talk about that one yet. And you find yourself pausing and going, oh no, I'm not. That one hasn't been announced.
Has it been announced yet? Yeah. Because I see today you've announced you're playing at Sound Bay as well in October.
Yes.
I think, is that the Loud Festival?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's got Marco Mendoza on there and a few other guys have been announced already, haven't they?
Yeah. It does. And for me, which is utterly insane, Chris Holmes from Wasp is playing that day, which is my little noggin's gone. I'm like, what? I can't be on the same bill as a guy from Wasp. That don't happen. That's crazy. I've got, Love Machine in my head all the way, I don't know if you're Wasp fans, but, I've got a lot of... And the bass player, funny enough, me and the bass player went to school together, so he's got a lot of love for Wasp. So, yeah, that will be a day to take in if I'm getting to watch Chris Holmes from the side of the stage.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, that's cool.
VE, all I need's my love machine.
Is he playing as himself, doing Wasp covers, or is he playing as Wasp?
Well, apparently most of his set is sort of Wasp songs. I mean, he was in their main heyday. I think he's called Chris Holmes and the Mean Machines now. And Machine, or Mean Man, is one of his big tunes off the Headless Children record, which was sort of late 80s, early 90s, I think. Just when it was at the peak of hair metal. That's when that record came out. So but then I think Orange Goblin are on that bill as well. Loads of great bands. So yeah, really looking forward to that one, to say the least.
Yeah,
loads of great shows coming up with loads of awesome bands. Crazy,
cool.
Unbelievable. Very cool.
That's good. So when did you all start playing then? Obviously, Dav was in diapers when he started playing all his instruments to be as good as he is at everything he's at.
Especially when it's Budweiser, it's like, come on, Dav, you need to get out of those.
No, I didn't start actually playing drums until, I don't know, last year or two of school, because I think in the GCSE blocks, you have different blocks and you get to choose what subjects you want. There was a couple in the same block which I didn't want to do, and music was like the only one out of those maybe three which I fancied. So I took music, and then afterwards they were like, "Oh, there's like a practical exam," and I was like, "No." So it was like, "Well, you got to learn how to play an
instrument."
You got to learn how to play an instrument now, and I'm like, "Yeah, I can't play guitar. I can't do that crap with my fingers. That's too hard. Like in a year, I can't do that. What's easy and loud? Drums. Yeah, okay." And now, here I am, a couple of years later. Still bad.
He's not even the best drummer in Black Lakes, to be honest.
No. Yeah, of course not. I mean, no.
No, you're not.
No.
But, hey, it's a podcast. It's supposed to be funny, right? We're trying to entertain people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no room for the truth in media. That's
no.
Yeah. Exactly not.
If it's a podcast, then I'm just going to pretend to be Dav at our next gig and just go on the drums, because nobody can see us,
easy.
Right?
That's
no,
true.
they can see you. We record it, and we got the video as well.
Oh, right, I see that. I realise. All right.
Yeah.
If I know that. I know I've even got the in there and all sorts. Never mind. Anyway.
We don't all look at each other for fun, you know. It's all going to go out on air.
What are you trying to say? Is this not the best face you've seen in the last 3 minutes? But I started. I think I was quite late-ish. I started playing guitar. 14-ish? So it was just normal. I want a guitar, Dad. I want a guitar, Dad. Oh, you're never going to play it. I want a guitar, Dad. I want a guitar. And I just never shut up. So eventually they bought me, I think, what I remember to be the shittest guitar on the planet. It's from Argos, right? So that tells you how quality that guitar was. Came with an amp, which you know is always awesome, right? When the guitar comes with a free amp, it's got to be amazing. I think it was a Hurricane, Argos own brand thing. It was in red and white, just like Hank Marvin from the Shadows. And it played like absolute turd and sounded like absolute turd. And obviously I loved it. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life. And I probably took about, 6 years to learn Jingle Bells, maybe. I was like, this is really hard. It's really difficult. But my stubbornness to prove my dad wrong outweighed everything else. I'm like, I'm going to play this, you old bastard. I'm going to play this. And then that spurred me on. So I never really looked back. And to be fair, I'm still really bang average. My fortune is I seem to be able to write some okay songs, hopefully. But, I'm not in any way a virtuoso on the guitar. But, somehow the songs are just there and I just, I don't know. And my wife's funny. She's classically trained, and she's like, "Oh, you're doing a B minor fourth inversion there." I'm like, I don't know. It's that one. It's that one that sounds right. It sounds right to me. It's all in my head. I don't know any of the theory. As Dylan will testify, because he's properly musically trained and understands apparently that I'm just playing everything in the really basic pentatonic scale, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, there's hope for us yet, Dave.
Yeah. Persevere.
Yeah.
What you need is a dad that you hate enough to prove wrong, and then you'll be sorted.
Oh, my dad's really encouraging. That's the problem I got. He keeps telling me off while I don't practice and don't play it and stuff.
I've got one of those sickening, really supportive, nice parents.
He even came over. They came over to dog sit and he restrung my guitar to me while I was away.
You can divorce your parents now, right? You do know that in law, and that's possible. Get binning off, and otherwise you'll never be in a metal band if you've got good parents. That's never going to work.
No.
This is the contrast, right? This is the contrast. My dad sent me a text and said, "Well, what's that fucking podcast you're doing? It's pretty fucking boring, isn't it?"
Now that's a proper dad right there.
Cheers for your support. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. What are you wasting your time with? Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I did dig it out. I bought a Gibson Les Paul Studio.
They're quite nice there.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago. And I had 2 lessons, and then we were doing these podcasts and lots of other things were taking over, and I kept delaying the lesson and delaying it, and before you know it, it's like April this year and I haven't had any more. So I thought I'd better dig them out. So I dug it out. I bought some new control covers for it and everything off eBay, and I thought, I'll put them on there.
Sure.
So I sent a photo to my dad and my mum, and I said, I've been on it for an hour today, and he said, he's taken it out to change the controls. He haven't bloody tuned it and played it.
He caught you out. He knows exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's all right, Dad. You can tune it when you come over.
Yeah, that's it. But it's just practice, isn't it? And that's what I said now.
You've got to find a tune that you really like. I mean, my first guitar lessons, I was being taught. So Paranoid by Black Sabbath, I can get on board with that. And then the other thing that my guitar player was teaching me was Freeze All Right Now, and a track by ZZ Top that I can never remember, and I hated them. I didn't want to do 12-bar blues, but I was like, better do what I'm told. So, but yeah, I think it was Paranoid that got me through, because I was like, it sounds similar to like that thing I love, and if you can get the right song and you get that little bit of motivation to go, it sounds like that song now, and then that's what pushes you on. I think sometimes is replicating that sound or that riff.
See, I have a completely different approach to practice.
Probably so,
because I was classically trained from like 8 years old on flute. I was like given books. Yeah, I was given books, and like it was like, you must play this. This is what you have to play.
Sure.
And I was young. I never practiced or anything like that. I regret it because I'm not as good on flute as I used to be, and I'm at the point now where I'm like, yeah, I want to be good at flute again. Because we could do something stupid with it, can't we?
I love flute.
Yeah.
They were called recorders when I was in school.
I mean, I think it might be over there somewhere, but it's not a recorder.
Now I like it.
When I practice, I sit down and I just like, right, okay, so what am I doing today? Okay, I'm picking this song, and I'm gonna have to be able to play this section in the next, I don't know, couple of hours. That's how I do it. If I just sit there and repeat songs that I know all over, I'm not learning anything.
No, you're right.
No, that's true.
That's what I do. I just keep playing the same fucking one over and over and over
I just keep playing the same chords. I didn't even play a song at the moment.
I mean, I picked the guitar up and I was like, right, I'm going to play the intro for Sweet Child of Mine. No fucking problem. 2 years later, I still can't fucking play it.
Do you know that was his warm-up, and then one of them heard it and was like, yeah, let's make that into a song.
Thanks.
No way. All right.
Yeah, that was Slash's warm-up.
Yeah, it was. They wrote it as a piss take originally. Sweet Child. It was supposed to be a piss take out of all the ballad bands, and then obviously the record company got hold of it, and then you got to release it, and then bang, they fixed it.
Yeah, it's mad.
So, which is not surprising, but Dylan is a proper musician, guitar player. He wants to be good at guitar. He's the only member of Black Lakes that wants to be good at guitar.
Well,
maybe apart from Dav, but I pick up the guitar because I want to make music, and then so therefore I go, if I've written a song, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. I don't need to know how that part goes or how that part plays. But then Dylan's like, it goes like this. I'm like, oh wow, amazing. I think
you've got the wrong instrument, but yeah, you're on the right tracks.
What do you mean, as in?
Bass for me, innit?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I forget he plays bass like a fucking virtuoso as well. The guitar isn't even his first instrument. So,
it's not even my second.
No. So it is
obviously because he plays the flute.
Yeah. He literally plays it all and understands it all. And like him and my wife are having a conversation. Like, I don't even understand what language they're talking in.
The language of music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it all gets a bit math for me. I'm like, oh yeah, you want to go to a B-7? I don't know.
Yeah.
Which one sounds chunky? But I think that's some of the part that what makes the band work, because Dylan's always a bit more like, it can do this and we can do this really interesting thing. And I'm, more like, what grooves and what sounds cool, and then somewhere in between, hopefully it comes out all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
God, think of the stupid harmonies I was trying to put into some of the tracks.
Absolutely. I think about them most days when I'm rocking myself. Like, don't put that harmony in. It sounds bad. Don't do that.
But it doesn't sound bad because music is subjective.
That's very true. So everyone that likes Megadeth think it sounds bad, and everyone that thinks it sounds good.
Right, okay. We're going straight to that one, are we? Right.
Well, you fell into it, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. But we haven't even got onto your favourite band, or one of your favourite bands, anyway, have we? We haven't even talked about the Chili's, but I know you're a big
we haven't talked about Chili's yet.
Oh, you like the Chili's, do you?
Love the Chili's, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because of the bass and Flea, is it? Is that because of Flea?
It's because of what I was like shown at an early age more than anything. It's what I grew up with from my dad. It was that and a bit of Nirvana,
Love Nirvana.
So yeah, I've always loved them. They had a few road B sections, but we don't talk about them. But now Frusciante is back, so I'm happy.
He's back again. Yeah. But I think with some bands, like obviously Chili's being a great example, when there's a good bass player, because you're like, oh, I just noticed the bass line.
Yeah.
And the Chili's are very much that kind of band where you're like, holy crap, the bass is an instrument.
Yeah.
And in many bands, it's just like, the bass is there, but it's not really doing that much. But, proper bass players, you definitely can tell. And again, I'm going to really upset everyone here probably, but like, I remember listening to loads of Duran Duran. I'm like, what the hell is that bass doing? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, all this funk going on. You're like, this is pop. We shouldn't have that much funk in it.
Yeah.
When you listen to the Duran Duran bass lines, they're awesome.
Yeah. Well, I went and watched Reef on the weekend, and Jack Besant is exactly the same. Reef's music is built around the bass, really.
Sure.
But they were actually working with the guy at Duran Duran as well, weren't they?
Oh, never, are they?
They were, yeah, they were.
We were arguing about his name. What was his name? Andy, or was it
Andy Taylor?
Andy Taylor, yeah, he did sort of like produce their latest album, and he was gigging with them as well. But he wasn't.
Oh, amazing.
He wasn't in Bristol on the weekend. They had a lady up on there on stage. Pretty cool.
What for Reef? You mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Andy Taylor's been with him for a few years actually. So I don't know where he's gone, but probably on top of Duran Duran again.
Yeah, maybe.
maybe, probably.
Or writing again, just hidden away.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Squirreled away in his studio.
Yeah.
No, Dylan's very good on bass on that, and I won't give it out, but I remember there's a particular track on the album that our bass player wasn't very well that day, so couldn't really make the session, shall we say? So we were like, shit, what are we gonna do? It's like, oh, Dill, could you? It's like, yeah, no problem. I'll put down the part. And then I remember listening back to it and going, wow, I've really noticed the bass line in that track. That's really cool. And then after I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one that Dylan did.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you must notice the difference in tone.
I do, but I don't know whether
I can.
Yeah, I would as well.
And I think if I pointed out the track, people would notice, but I'm not going to do that.
No.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's you can already tell that it's like, that's what happens when you put a proper bass line on a song. I see. But then it's all an evolution, isn't it? I think a couple of the reviews have said, it's their first album. It sounds really great, but they're still finding their sound, and that's cool, I think.
Yeah.
Still got room to grow. If you think you're done, then something's horribly wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Are you guys signed with a label or anything yet?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How do I answer this?
Absolutely nothing.
Are you? I was going to say.
Is that something you want to? Is that something you're keen to do moving forward, or are you still happy to carry on doing it yourselves?
Well, Dav won't give the sensible answer. We've been approached by a few. By quite a few. And we've had quite a few conversations internally in the band. Going, should we sign with these guys? But it hasn't. It's never felt quite right yet. So, but I think the music industry's changed a lot, hasn't it? It's changed massively. I mean, we're able to do a lot on our own, and obviously at the moment it just gives you the ability to, make sure your art is what you want it to be. I don't think we're going to be opening to go. Yeah, we'll do anything you like. Please give us a deal. We'd love to do exactly what you want us to do on the next record.
Didn't we have one that came through that said Will will never be able to cut his hair?
Yes.
I think that was one of the clauses in one of them or something. Yeah.
No way.
There's some odd stuff. Yeah, it really is quite odd.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff.
Because obviously you won't be able to basically, none of the chicks are going to go gaga over him anymore if he cuts his hair. So you can't. That's a prerequisite. You can't cut your hair. Okay. It's fascinating stuff. But yeah, we obviously if Sony BMG or EMI come calling, we're open. Yeah, it's fine.
You might be, yeah.
Well, happy to have the conversation. but I don't think we sit around every day going, crap, how do we get a record deal? How do we make that happen? We're hopefully making plenty of noise and stink on our own, and then as you say, what you get is like, we're really interested in you guys. Okay, cool, let's have a chat. Try and do it on your own, and plus it shows people what you're capable of. On your own as well. And
that's a lot more important.
Yeah, the labels don't sign bands like they do, a couple decades ago.
No,
they want to know exactly what you can do on your own before they even consider you in the top 100 names of bands or artists who they have on their list. If you can't manage your socials or make money off merch or organize a piss up in a brewery on your own, they're not going to sign you. No, it's just how it works.
Yeah.
But it is nice that we get confused with the signed band quite a lot, which is quite nice. That's got to be the biggest compliment, right? I think a lot of people are like, you're not that surprising, and I thought you'd be signed by now, and we could have been. We could have gone with a number of different, smaller independent labels, and there's nothing wrong with that. We just don't know, do you? It's so difficult to know.
Yeah.
You're on the boat going, do we jump now? Is this the one to jump? Is this the time to jump? Is it the time to jump? And so far, and it keeps getting bigger, and we're like, hang on, we haven't jumped yet. This is good. So, I'm waiting for
depends what they're offering, to be honest.
Always. I mean, and again, without going into it all a bit too seriously, we know bands that have got deals, and they're like, don't sign with them. It's a shit deal. We're having a terrible time. We're like, okay, there's plenty of people going, I've got a deal, and it's bad.
Yeah.
So it's surprisingly the other way around as well. It's not. Yeah. It certainly isn't. As my bass player always cries about, it's like, "Cool, I wish it was the '80s."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
have a massive,
yeah.
massive $250,000 signing on fee. You know, pool shaped like a guitar in LA. All that. It's you know, the reality is slightly different these days. But
Yeah. Well, if you're coping on your own, you know, you're better off sticking with it at the moment. And like you said, you're making plenty of noise and getting lots of really good reviews and stuff. And just keep, you know, I think probably the advantage is with there being 6 of you in the band, you can all do a little something. If there's a smaller number in the band, probably more of the lion's share falls on one person's shoulders then. So, you know,
definitely.
it makes it a bit easier, doesn't it?
I think it's a great observation, to be honest. We ended up being really lucky. So for whatever reason, and I know it gets talked about a lot and it's a bit of a cliche, the 6 people is bigger than the individuals involved. Like I've never been in a band that experienced that before, where it's just all exploded like it has. So the singer knows people in media and used to be video trained. So he's got loads of contacts in London for video, you know. Dylan's incredible on the guitar. Dav produces rights. You know, our guitar player knows people. And just somehow it's all managed to come together as a perfect storm where everybody does a little bit and they all do their own bit. And it's all come together brilliantly. And obviously, you know, 6 people, you get to share the cost as well.
Yeah. That's important.
It's not cheap, is it?
No, it's funny.
Yeah, because we saw you'd gone to Ramesh to get the producing done and everything. So you know, you've gone with one of the best producers. Because I know Terry knows him, knows of him. I don't know that side of the business, but he's worked with some really, really big bands out of South Wales, haven't he already? So
yeah, absolutely. So I mean, on the Ramesh thing, we again, funny enough, it was almost the same conversation I had with James when we started the band. It's like, right, what do we need? Well, we need a really good singer, right? Okay, get that sorted. And he's like, where do we want to go? I'm like, well, really, we ought to record with Ramesh. Really, if we're going to do it, we should record with Ramesh. Can we make that happen? So did some demos, sent them, and then fair play, Ramesh was like, yep, love it. When can you come in? I want to do it. I'm like, wow, amazing. And then the next one is Download Festival. That's the next one that Black Lake's like, we want to get on Download. That's the next ambition to crack at some stage. So we're chipping away at that one next. But yeah, Ramesh is massively blown up in the time that we've worked with him. I mean, he was big anyway. And then he's like, goes and gets nominated for a Grammy, the twat. And you're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and then just put his fucking price up again.
I know. It really, you know, pissed him right off. I'm like, hi, Ramesh, we'd like to finish the record. Well, I feel a bit bad, but I got management now, and you know, it costs more. And I'm like, Jesus, fucking hell. So yeah, you know, but he was very kind to us and enabled us to finish off. Although, again, a lot of people don't realise most of this because of the pandemic. Most of the record was recorded ourselves.
Oh, okay.
So we finished it off with Ramesh, and we recorded live drums, and Ramesh did the final mix, but. Dav and Dylan did most of the engineering on half the tracks, the guitar recording, the bass recording. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not underestimating the part that Ramesh played whatsoever, but it's don't underestimate Dav and Dylan's talent for producing and engineering and stuff like that as well. So some of it is literally Black Lakes, more or less.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool. Wow, that's
apart
good.
from the drums.
Good, yeah.
But yeah, we're very it's awesome working with Ramesh. It's kind of loads of surreal pinch yourself moments. You're like sat in the studio and going, does that recording say "Bullet for My Valentine" on it? Yeah, it does. Oh, does that one say, you know, "Bring Me the Horizon" over there? Yeah. It's like, oh, you know, and you're like, he's on the phone. You're like, oh God, you got to know your place. You know what I mean? It's like, hi, Ramesh, you can come in next week. Oh, sorry, I'm busy. I'm like, I bet what are you doing? Anything important? I can't do anything important. Oh yeah, you know, I'm chatting with like Papa Roach in LA or something. Oh, got to know your place. And he's like, sorry, Ramesh. All right, what about the week after? Oh yeah, I'm in London that week. All right, okay. You know what I mean? So it's like, please, we'd like to come in. And then you go, Ramesh goes, I can do next Thursday. Yes. You know, we want to come in. But yeah, no, it sounds amazing, I think.
Yeah.
The record. It does sound really good. So yeah, really pleased.
Great.
Did you go with him more because he was local or?
Yeah, kind of
because of
both.
his reputation?
Both. I mean,
Okay.
you know, I'm super lazy.
I never went there, so I don't have anything to say about any of this.
Okay.
No, it's funny, yeah, because we recorded with him over a period of time. But yeah, I mean, it's like, I can go to Cardiff, you know. He's right by a certain football stadium. I don't want to, you know, upset anyone that's not
Yeah.
a football stadium fan in the capital city. But, you know, he's right by there, happy days. And simple, but yeah, you know, I mean, obviously, if you work with Motorhead, Funeral for a Friend, Bring Me the Horizon, and you're Grammy nominated, he's probably going to be all right.
Yeah. Just expensive.
Be all right, like.
Yeah, it was And I was going to say a minute ago, it's funny enough, there's some articles now that talk about how money's a barrier in music, basically saying you've actually got to have a load of money just to even get anywhere. And it's so true. It's so hard. You've got to literally spend thousands and thousands just to get any kind of tiny amount of attention just for it to sound, appropriate. Unless you end up being in Nirvana.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just breaks and goes like that. But in the main, it's, you can't music. You don't want to come into music if you want to be rich. Not these days. There ain't no money in it.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, well, David's already gone, so.
Yeah.
He's gone for a beer, I bet.
Thanks, bye.
There was one question before we wrap up that Terry had been asking some bands, and we haven't asked them for a little while, but have any of you had that pinch me moment when you're on stage and you think, I can't believe I'm here, I can't believe I'm doing this?
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I think. Oh, go on, Dill. Do you want to go?
I'm just gonna say I don't think I have. Not yet. That's where I'll leave it. Yeah. I don't know.
It's coming, Dill. I think we launched our album at the Patriots in Crumlin in South Wales that Dav and Dylan both also work at as sound techs and sound engineers. And we had probably about 6 deep at the barrier, which is like mad in itself. And then I'm playing a few songs and I'm like looking at James, looking at Will going, are they singing our lyrics? There's people who are actually singing our lyrics from memory, like no auto cue or nothing, to the point where they'd actually heard the song to the point where they knew it to come and go, I'm just going to scream it. That was a bit mad. That was a bit mad. I'd like more, but that first moment, which weirdly has already happened, where you've got people singing your lyrics back, is mad. That is truly bonkers. Funny enough, on that, a mate of mine used to be in a band called Terrace. They were big around this turn of the millennium, and they had a bit of hit. They got on the cover of the NME, pretty big deal at the time. Obviously disappeared just as quickly. And he's like the most chill dude you could ever imagine. Like, oh yeah, I'm just chilled all the time. Totally easygoing, no problems ever. And I was like, oh, I've asked him a similar question. Like, ever happened to you? And he's like, oh, do you know what? Because I've always been perfectly all right. And I was at Reading and walking around, and then he said he bumped into Robert Plant, and then totally lost his shit. He's Robert Plant. So and if that can happen to him, it can happen to anybody at some stage, I think. So, but yeah, haven't found myself, or we haven't found ourselves in that situation. Don't know about you, Dav. Question was around if you've had a pinch me moment yet in Black Lakes on a stage or anything.
Not so much because my hair's over my eyes. I can't see shit. But it's funny you should mention Robert Plant because one night when I was working, one of the regulars brought their great uncle with them, and he stood by the booth all night. We spoke briefly. I didn't recognize him at all. He's sort of dressed up, hat, long coat. Stayed by the booth the whole night. So I was working with this dude next to me, this old guy. And then months after that night, this regular decides to tell me, oh yeah, my great uncle who you met months ago. Yeah, that was Robert Plant. I was like, what?
Okay.
He probably liked it that I had no idea, like at first glance, who he was.
Yeah.
And
probably why you stayed there.
Yeah.
More relaxed and enjoyed the show.
Yeah, it's probably a lot better if you're at that level of rock stardom. You don't want people gushing over you all night. It's just like, all right, I'm doing my job. yeah, you're right. That was it the entire night. Apparently it was Robert Plant, which is pretty mental.
That's cool.
So you guys going to be working at the Forge Festival then, Patriot?
Yes, we'll be working and playing.
All right, okay.
The owner lets them out for like 10 minutes. I'm like, Ange, they need to be on stage. We're playing. Oh, they can go for a minute. Hang on. They've got to do one more band. I'm like, all right. And then
what day are you playing?
Like a sabbatical.
I think we're playing
on stage, play, and then go back in the booth.
Right, okay. I'm going to miss you. I can make it on the Thursday.
No, we'll see you there then. Well, because
I can make it every day.
Be there.
Oh,
but come down then.
We're playing on the Saturday, I think. We're playing the Saturday. I think it's the Saturday.
Was that? Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we're on
I'm
Saturday.
coming up on a Thursday.
Shall I
Oh,
check?
cool.
Yeah, we're having a stag night, aren't we?
Oh, nice.
Tidy.
Yeah.
We're dragging Terry's maid out with us for a
Oh,
stag.
Yeah, I was coming over because my mate's getting married on the weekend, so I'm his best
amazing.
man, so we're going to come over there on the Thursday.
I
When
haven't
was the
got my
last
missus
you were
yet. The door's open, but she's driving us up and picking us back up.
Oh, perfect.
So,
When was the last time you were over? Is it recently or?
no, actually, when was the last time
Yeah.
I was over, Dave?
Andrew's
Andrew's wedding. How long ago was that? 3 years ago?
Oh wow,
It was
okay.
before lockdown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
it was before
right.
lockdown. Year before.
Yeah,
that
So you
was
haven't,
before
you
lockdown.
haven't been back to the motherland for a while.
No.
Nice.
And that suit that I wore to the wedding, I had to throw it because I'm too fat now because of lockdown. I had to go buy new suits.
I've got to buy a new one as well. So.
I know. Imagine what it's like on stage, like 2 years of pandemic. I'm like, oh, that's my cool stage. Oh no, that doesn't fit anymore. Oh, I'm gonna put that doesn't fit anymore. I'm like, shit. I'm gonna go and buy new stage clothes. I don't fit
You
them
just
anymore.
need a Robin planted up, a big long back and a hat. That's what you want to
Or buy spandex.
do. Yeah.
I wish I was cool enough at the moment to play. Oh, I'm too cool. Like, I don't need to dress up. I'm like, no, I still need to try and make it. Try to polish the turd as much as we can.
All right then, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Been great to speak to you.
Yeah, thanks for
Good luck
coming
with the
on.
album.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with your forthcoming shows.
Thank you very much.
Don't sign to any shit that you don't want to sign to.
No,
Like,
we'll
give you some
try our
advice.
best not to.
Yeah,
And,
just keep
just
keep
try and
doing
get
what you're
yourself a
doing,
good
guys.
booker.
It's good stuff.
Thanks ever so much for having us on, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, thank
yeah,
you,
obviously,
guys.
anyone out there that wants to speak to us, feel free to chat to us on social media. We're pretty chatty guys, so feel free to get in touch if they want to.
Okay,
Cool. I better give Lee Evans a shout out because he introduced me to you. So
Yeah.
he's sweet, isn't it?
Great effort.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Right, guys, take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Doc
Breaking through the silence, trapped in our own hell, stranded as the time runs out to save us from ourselves. Watching the last sun fall as the tide begins to rise, longing for a comfort found beyond our darkened skies, reaching out to find a way, forever living yesterday, struggling to find my place, breaking through the silence, trapped in our own hell, stranded as the time runs out to save us from ourselves. A welcome realization of this cold, it bites the bone. Pervasive sense of detachment sets in when you're alone. This longing just perpetuates the isolation that you face. Never seem to find a place, but we